Hey friends, in today's video we are doing what I'm calling an effortless glam look over 40. So I did want some glam. I wanted something that was a little dressy, something you could wear to holiday parties, but I wanted it to be effortless and easy and long wearing and long lasting. So I created this look. I did team up with Merit Beauty for this video, and I'm so excited to use some of my favorite Merit products in this video. And I'm really excited, you guys, because that time of year is here. Merit does not have a lot of sales. They are not a brand that has a lot of sales throughout the year or heavy promo codes, but I have an early access code for you guys to shop Merit Beauty's website, 20% off before their Black Friday sale starts on the 24th. So the code that I'm going to give you, it'll be on screen and down below, will save you 20% off through midnight on November 23rd. And as a bonus, you guys, on every order, no minimum required, but while supplies last, their free gift this year is the Merit card case. It's this really nice, sleek little card case. Obviously great for any type of card, but what comes inside are little blotting papers. So the perfect little on-the-go makeup touch-up. You can leave your powder at home, refreshing your makeup, absorb shine and oil, and you get this for free. No minimum required while supplies last. So those of you that hop on early and get your orders in with my early access code will likely get one of these in your order. One last thing I want to say before we get into the video about Merit Beauty is it's really one of my favorite brands for minimal, easy to apply makeup products. I love how versatile these products are. I love that you can really achieve like a no makeup look, or you can build them up and get something a little bit more glam like we did today. And I'm really excited to share their new Solo Shadow Sheens with you. That's what I used to create this eye look. So very excited about today's video. Lots of good things. Don't forget to check the description box for my early access code for you guys and all the details regarding their Merit card case gift with purchase. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So tip number one, we start with Complexion. And really the name of the game with Complexion in Effortless Beauty is to not look like we have tried so hard. So that really means not applying more makeup or more foundation than we actually need. I think a lot of us are just in a habit of doing all the steps that we've been doing since we were in our 20s. And sometimes we don't need to do all of that. And so I recommend starting with a Tinted SPF. And I'm really excited because I teamed up with Merit Beauty. I've been a longtime partner of Merit Beauty. They are known for making really beautiful, clean formulas that are non-comedogenic, meaning they're not going to clog your pores. They have good for your skin ingredients. They are minimal makeup in the sense that everything is very easy to apply and just allows you versatility to have like you walk into a room before your makeup. But also if you want to glam it up, you certainly can. And in today's look, we're going to slightly glam it up. But I'm going to start with the Merit Beauty's Uniform. This is a tinted mineral sunscreen. It has an SPF of 45. And even though it's SPF of 45, it has a little bit of coverage. So this is going to help even my skin tone out. And then from here, I'll decide if I need foundation or if I can just get by with this and a little bit of concealer. Now, what I love about this is the formula is really light as air. It's a sheer tint, but it's buildable. So you can get a little bit more coverage from it if you like. And I'm using a foundation brush. I'm using the BK Beauty 106, and I'm just gonna kind of bounce this in the center of the face. You can also use your fingers to apply it. A lot of times I will use my fingers to apply a tinted SPF, but because I'm trying to build this up and get more coverage from it, I'm gonna use the 106 and just kind of stipple it onto the skin. What I love about this product is it actually has really fine powders in it, which are gonna help give the appearance of more smooth skin and blur texture. This product is oil-free, and it's non-comedogenic, which means it's not going to clog your pores. Just gives a nice sheer tint, evens out my skin tone. I'm not applying any underneath the eyes because I am going to go in with concealer, but I feel like I have a really great base here for my foundation. Okay, let's go in and add concealer, and then I'm going to come back and decide if I need to add a little foundation. For concealer, I'm going to go in with Estee Lauder's Double Wear Concealer. And again, the name of the game in Effortless Glam is that we keep things just as much as we need and no more. So I'm going to put a little bit right in here, a little right in here, and then I'm going to create a little bit here and kind of pull it up to lift the eye area. What I love about this product is it's very long wearing. It gives great coverage and it's not a heavy product at all. And I'm going in with the new BK Beauty Nikki La Rose N19 brush, and I'm just pressing this underneath the eye. This brush is going to give me the most coverage from less product. Because of its density, it really just works the product into the skin, kind of similar to a sponge in a way. It's got density, but it's also soft, so you get a nice full coverage with a really pretty seamless blend. Now that I have the concealer on, you guys, I really don't feel like I need more coverage than this. I had a foundation, I had the Natasha Denona High Glam foundation just in case I wanted to go in and add a little, but I really don't feel the need to. I feel like I've got really great coverage. I feel like I got a little highlight underneath the eye. And in the spirit of effortless glam, we are gonna just stay right here. Now, if you get to this point though, and you feel like you do need a little bit of extra coverage, you can take your foundation, whatever foundation that you use. I don't recommend using a full coverage foundation here though. If you've used the Merit Beauty Uniform, you really shouldn't need a full coverage foundation because this is gonna give you a little bit of coverage, a little skin evening out. So you will find that you don't need as much foundation or a full coverage foundation, but take a kind of a like medium coverage foundation, something that's buildable, and try and use half of what you normally would use here. So if you normally use a full pump, try and use half of that and really just focus it in the areas that you need coverage and really make that foundation work and spread it out. So look for formulas that are a little more lightweight, maybe serum foundations. That's why I love the Natasha Denona Serum Foundation because it's very spreadable. So if you have a little bit on the skin, you're really able to move that and get coverage over a larger area of the face. When products are thicker in consistency, you need to use more of it to get that product to coverage all over the face. Does that make sense? Because it's thicker, it doesn't spread as well. So try and look for foundations that are serum based and try and look for foundations that just are more of a buildable medium coverage and try and use less of your foundation, okay? So that's kind of the little hack number one there. Next, I'm gonna go in and powder the skin. And I got these new powders from Dior I'm really excited about. These are the Dior Forever Nude Matte Filter. I bought two shades. I bought the shade Light and then I bought the shade Medium. I had intended on returning Medium, but I just decided to keep it because I accidentally like swatched it and I felt bad returning it because I wouldn't be able to use it. So I'm gonna go in with Light and I'm going to just lightly powder really the areas where I see shine, which is right here on the forehead. I'm gonna powder the nose because I do get a little oily there and kind of the center of the face. Where I'm gonna avoid powdering is on the cheeks because I'm gonna go in with a more creamy product and I don't want a powder sitting down. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this powder and we are using N15 and I'm just going to really just press right there on the forehead, press right here on the nose, underneath the eyes a bit, and then around the mouth. Now I might go back and powder more later when we are all done, but I'm not done with my cream products and I really don't want to put cream on top of a powder. Tip number two comes to bronzer and blush. And again, it's keeping things very sheer, very minimal, keeping them very natural looking. So we're not gonna go with anything like a heavy contour. We're not gonna go in with products that are really pigmented, that are just really make an impact. We really want things to be soft. We want them to look natural. So I'm gonna share a few tips here in this little nugget. We're gonna start by using a large brush. So this is the BK Beauty 103, and it's really important to use a large fluffy brush when you are going in to apply your bronzer, if it's a powder bronzer. Anything that's smaller or dense, like even like the N15, this brush is gonna apply this product completely different than this brush is. So you can use the same product, but if you're using a different tool, it can completely change the application. So for effortless glam, we want something soft, we want something natural, we want something sheer. So a soft, fluffy, large brush is designed to pick up less product, honestly, and apply less product. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit and I'm just gonna kind of bounce this on the face, really kind of work it in. Because it's larger, it's gonna cover more area, so we're not gonna get that really strong contoured effect. We're just gonna get a really pretty sun-kissed glow. Now, if you feel like you get a little more product than you want, just use that brush to move and blend it out. And I'm gonna just kind of brush this into the hairline. With this technique, we're not so concerned about placement. In fact, we're getting bronzer almost over the entire face, just avoiding the center of the face. So we're working around the perimeter, the hairline. We'll kind of work here on the jawline as well. And then of course we've got the cheekbones covered, but we don't have to be too particular about placement because the application is so soft and sheer that it's not too concerning, you know, your placement. You just want a really soft, natural wash of color. There we go. So we have a little bit of warmth, but it's very minimal. People don't notice your contour when you walk into a room. Now, when it comes to blush, we're going to take the same approach. And I don't think there is a better product for this type of makeup look than the Merit Beauty's Flush Balm. These are a sheer creamy tint. They're buildable though, so if you want to build up and get more color, you certainly can, but these are so easy to work with. I don't think there's another cream blush on the market that I would say you could apply with your fingers. This you can. We're not going to because, you know, I do everything with brushes, but if you really want a simple, quick quick look with your fingers, this is great. If you are a girl on the go and you kind of do your makeup as you're moving, this is such a great product. I'm going to be going in with the shade Beverly Hills. So I'm just taking the product and I'm just doing a nice swatch right on the cheeks. Then I'm going to go in with the BK Beauty 112 and I'm just going to press that into the product to blend it out. It's such a beautiful, beautiful color. It's just this gorgeous soft pink with a little peach. You see some radiance glow, the light reflection happening from the product, but it's not a shimmery or a frosty type of product, so it's not going to magnify texture. It gives a really natural highlight to the skin. It leaves the skin looking very healthy. It's formulated with vitamin E, and it is not formulated with any acne triggering ingredients. So if you're someone that struggles with breakouts from products, this one is safe. For the best application of this, really just take your brush and kind of bounce it and it's going to blend out for you. It's very easy. You don't have to move the brush. You don't have to spread the product. You just have to bounce it and those edges will just softly diffuse and disappear. And then you're left with a really natural, beautiful looking flush to the skin. You can even take a little bit of this over your nose if you want. I really love how this looks, especially in the fall or winter because it really lights up the face. Perfect, perfect. So that's just the amount of color that I want. It's natural. I've got color to the face, I've got definition, but you certainly don't notice my makeup. It is just me, but slightly better. Okay, let's talk about eyes when we're going for an effortless glam look. When I think of glam, I think of a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of sheen on the eyes. You know, sparkle and sheen really highlight the eyes. It reflects light, so it makes the eyes look a little bit larger, a little more open. When I think of effortless, I think of products that are easy to apply, that don't look overdone, and they're just really easy to wear alone or pair with other products. So I'm very excited to share these with you guys. Merit launched the Solo Sheen Shadows. You know, I'm a fan of their original Solo Shadows. It's a cream shadow product that gives you some time to blend it, but once it dries and sets, it's like stays in place. You can wear them alone. They have beautiful colors. You can wear them as eyeliner or you can pair powder shadow with them. I'm going to be using the Solo Shadow Sheens today and I'm going to create an entire look with just these products. I have so many fun shades that I picked. I kind of want to show them all to you just so you can get an idea. I'm not going to use them all, but I'm going to show them all to you, my favorites. So this is the shade Surrealism. Leaves a really beautiful, beautiful microfine sheen. So it's not a heavy sparkle at all. It's not a heavy sparkle at all. It's just a beautiful, beautiful sheen. Do you see that? Oh, it's gorgeous. It's like this beautiful pearl. Next, we have the shade Matchbook, and I think this might be one I want to go with. Let's see. This is the shade Matchbook. Look how pretty that is. It's a really beautiful neutral with a little copper to it. We have the shade Palladium, and this is more of like a kind of champagne shade, really beautiful. I think we're going to be using this one. Then we have the shade Sartorial. Look how pretty this one is. This is a little bit deeper of a bronze. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. That would be a gorgeous liner. Look how pretty that is. This would be more of like a glam look. For effortless glam, we might use a little bit of this, maybe as a liner to smoke out the lower lashes. And then we have this shade Glace. This is a little bit of a pinkier kind of champagne shade. That's really beautiful too. So really beautiful. And there's some other shades as well, but these really jumped out to me as favorites. Kind of more neutral, but look at how beautiful that sheen is. That sparkle as I turn my arm and the light hits it, it's not heavy, it's not frosty, but it definitely lights up the skin. So I'm gonna go in with the N24 brush and the shade Surrealism, and we're gonna load this brush up, the flat side of the brush with the product. I am gonna put the lid on and make sure you close this all the way, you guys. You don't want your product to dry out. So then I'm gonna go to the eyelid and I'm just gonna spread this all the way on the lower part of my eyelid from the inner corner to the outer corner. Oh, this color is so pretty. This pearl is just beautiful. It's so refined. You have about 20 seconds with this product before it dries. So make sure that you're, working with it and moving it before it completely dries. And I like to do one eye at a time. So beautiful. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a liner. We are gonna come back to the Solo Shadows and use some more, but here's a little trick for you. I want this to look effortless, but I also want some definition in my lash line. So I am gonna use an eyeliner first to line my eyes. I'm going in with the Tarte Smolder Eyes, and this is the shade Sultry. It's a really pretty bronze. It's kind of a thick pencil. I'm gonna go in first and we are gonna create a little half liner. So we're gonna start kind of in the middle of the lash line and work our way to the outer corner. Now it can be a little thick, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna go over this with the Merit Solo Shadow, the Sheen Shadow, to just kind of soften this and make it a little bit more effortless looking. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Sartorial. This is the darker bronze. I'm going to take the same brush, the N24, And we are going to really coat the tip of this brush. I'm gonna go over that liner with this shade. Go over the liner and then kind of work it into the outer corner here. This is just gonna give a little bit more definition in the outer corner and a little more glam, but still keep it very soft. So I'm just layering this cream shadow on top of the liner, and then I'm extending it into the outer corner. And the great thing about these shadows, these cream shadows, is they are just so easy to work with. You really cannot mess them up, you guys. They're just so nice and soft. And the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a blending brush and I'm gonna go in here right before that shadow completely dries, just kind of soften and diffuse the edge out. If it's already dried and you're not able to really spread or move it, just take your brush and go into the cream shadow and then kind of soften and diffuse that crease. So there we go. We have a really beautiful, soft glam look. It's not harsh. So pretty. I'm going to take the same darker shade and we are going to take the N12 and we're going to run this on our lower lash line to create a little definition down there. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that looks so good. I love this color as liner. Applied with the N12 brush, it looks so beautiful. So we're ready to move on to lips. This is the last little tip for effortless glam. Now the eyes are really the focus of this look. I don't want the lips to compete. When I think of effortless glam too, I definitely want definition on the lips. I want them to look full and glossy, but I don't want them to be overlined. I don't want them to be too harsh. And I don't want them to be too colorful or too loud. I just want them to complement the rest of my makeup, but really not distract from it. So I'm gonna go in with Merit Beauty's lip liners, and these lip liners, if you have not tried these. In fact, actually, if you have tried these, drop a comment down below and tell me if you agree or disagree with the statement. But I think that this liner is like the most unique lip liner I've ever tried or ever found. When I think of lip liners, I think of usually like, you know, a lot more pigment, things that really define the lips that are a little stronger. These are actually like not glossy. These have a little bit of a sheen to them and they're pretty sheer for a lip liner. They're a really interesting texture, you guys. And these are really designed to be so easy to apply. Like you don't even need a mirror, really. This is the shade Mayfair. This is kind of a deeper little plum. I also love how hydrating these are for lip liners. You can put this all over the lip and be your lip color. This is the color Mayfair, which is a little deeper than I want to go. This is the color Coupe. And this is more kind of a line. They're similar, but this one's a little bit lighter. But look at how sheer and like shiny that is. Do you see the shine that you get from that? I mean, it's just really unlike any other lip liner that I found. It's very, very silky. It just glides on the lips so nice. So I'm going to line the lips in with this, and I'm also going to fill in the lips with this. That way I have color that lasts all day. This color is so pretty. Another great tip for lips when you want them to not look so defined or so harsh is to apply a little lip balm on your lips before your makeup, which I did, because it leaves the lips softer. So any product that you put isn't going to stick and adhere to the lip. Now, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes you want more definition and you want your liner to really stick to the lip. But if you want a softer look, put a little lip balm on, let it sit on the lips, then blot it off. This is so pretty. And I'm just kind of filling in the lips with this as if it's a lipstick. I am going to go in with a little bit of lipstick. This is the shade Baby from Merit. And it's just a really pretty neutral mauve shade. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the center. I'm not going to layer it too hard. Just keep it really soft and kind of pillowy. And then the last product that I'm going to apply is their tinted lip oils. These are the shade Slicks. And this is the shade Pointel. This is a really beautiful pink. These are so hydrating. They're very, very lightweight lip oil. So I've tried lip oils that are very lightweight. I've tried ones that are thicker. And this is definitely on the lighter weight. And I'm just going to do a little layer of this on the top and bottom lip. This is going to give me shine like a gloss without a sticky, heavy weight to the lips. So pretty. And the lips feel so good. It feels like a lip treatment. It really, really does. So this is the finished look. I love the way that it came out. It's glam, but it's effortless and easy and anyone can do it. So I'm gonna leave my Merit early access code for you guys to shop. Remember, Merit does not do a lot of sales, you guys. This really is kind of it. And I have an early access to save 20% off site-wide. And while supplies last, you guys, for every order, there's no minimum required. You will get the Merit card case, which comes with blotting papers inside. So you can leave your touch-up powder at home and use these to rough brush your makeup and absorb shine and oil throughout the day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.